Hey guys, players, welcome. Welcome. Little change of scenery here. Not too far. My desk is right over here. I just didn't want to sit there. I wanted to change it up a little bit. Welcome to Sports Hustle Life Baby Podcast number 9. I'm doing a baby podcast. Not a whole lot to talk about. I didn't want to beat a dead horse. We could sit here and talk about Patrick Mahomes getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Getting paid. I think he's gonna end up like Russell Wilson, get himself like a Sierra or something like that later. Probably dip for some of them. He's getting paid, man. He's getting money. It's always funny. You always watch that picture. See that picture of when Russell Wilson got drafted and his girlfriend like very wide mouth, like very happy, thinking she hit gold. When really, she was just a stepping stone. You can talk about Patrick Mahomes. God, what else is going on? So much ish is going on. I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to make it to where my niece can watch this, but I know it's going to come out because I know her mother. I know she's used to it. Yeah, so much different stuff I could talk about. I could sit there and talk about, obviously Patrick Mahomes. Will Dak Prescott sign? Blah, blah, blah. Who cares about Dak Prescott right now? But what we're definitely going to talk about is UFC 251. And that's why we're doing a baby podcast, because that's all we're going to focus on today is UFC 251. Mainly the main card. The last 5 cards, the last 5 fighters in the cards. A lot of other good fights you want to look at. Heavyweight card on the prelims. T-Burn, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I just took a quick glance at the card. And then I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. Also, Ozdemir is fighting on the prelims as well. Main event on the prelims. I think that's on ESPN. But the main card is definitely what I want to talk about today. It's a very interesting card. 3 championships are on the line, and the welterweight men's championship, the bantamweight men's championship, and Wait, who else is fighting? There's someone else fighting. I forgot. Oh, the men's featherweight championship. Oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot that. That'd have been really, really bad. But let's start out with the main card. Rebus versus Paige Van Zandt, PVZ as people like to call her. I don't have a whole lot of interest in this fight. I think it's just on the card because of Paige Van Zandt's name. And I think she's getting popularity. She's definitely a decent fighter, very good fighter. Has definitely improved, but still very young girl. I think she's a very good looking girl as well. And that's really one of those things where you see someone as her. She's short, blonde hair. I don't know. I don't think she has blue eyes. I can't tell. Very giggly, very bubbly, I guess is the word I could say, that I'm trying to describe her with. Just got a boob job too, as well, like last year. Hasn't fought since last year. I think the last fight she got into, she did win. I want to say it was Rachel Ostovich by armbar. Another bombshell. But all these girls can beat the shit out of me, so sorry if I offend you in any way, ladies. Ladies can do it better than the men. We've seen that. And I this could be a dark horse fight. Rebus, who has only lost once. Amanda Rebus' only loss came years, I don't know, but I don't remember. She only lost once, but she's given Mackenzie Dern her first loss and also beat Randa Marcos as well. 2 very, very skilled grapplers in their own name and very, very tough individuals. I do think that Mackenzie Dern took that fight a little bit short, but I think she took it like 4 months after she gave birth to her child. So I wouldn't mind to see that running back, but Rebus looked really, really good. I remember that fight. She's a good stand-up. I think she only has 1 finish by submission. The rest of them are all knockouts. So this could be a really tough fight for Paige Van Zandt coming back off I think a year and a half. Hasn't fought since January of last year, so a year and a half off. We'll see what happens. She's been happily making a living. She's been open about saying it, making a living off of Instagram, advertisements, getting paid to do advertisements. And I think that's pretty much it. Some sort of influencer type stuff. During the whole quarantine, her and her husband, who's also made a pretty good name of himself because of Paige Van Zandt. That's just me. I think that's what I'm thinking about. But he's doing the good things. He's fighting in Bellator, I believe. Bellator hasn't fought since I don't even know when the last time they fought. He actually upset. This is kind of off topic here. He upset. This is kind of an upset. Beat Boogie Richie Martinez in I think submission underground. Chael Sonnen's thing. So that's look out for him. Austin Vander. I can't remember. I can't say his last name. Look out for him. But anyways, we're talking about the ladies. We're talking about the UFC. This could be a kind of one of those dark horse. One of those surprising fights. I think this is gonna be a good fight. I think it'd be really, really fun, very interesting to see. This could be a stand-up fight, and but I got Amanda Ribas taking the fight, winning the fight, having a long layoff for Paige Van Zandt. Her head really hasn't been in MMA. She also had surgery about a year ago, I think. I can't remember exactly what. Not just her boobs, but other stuff, like her arm or some shit like that. But anyway, I think. What was I saying? I got off topic, but anyways, I was saying something about, her and her husband, Amanda Ribas, by the way, is going to win. Her and her husband were during this whole quarantine, taking pictures of themselves naked. They're naked on Instagram, by covering each other's parts up. I don't know, stand up 69ing, and then they were cartwheeling, and it was just weird. I don't know. But chances are if I ever have a wife, I don't know if I'd do that because she's going to be thick, and I can't pick her. All right, fuck off. Anyways, let's keep moving. To the other women's fight, another good one, too. This is a rematch of Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade. Now, this fight was supposed to happen, I think, November, if I'm not mistaken. But then someone got injured. I don't remember. I think it's supposed to happen November, December. Did it happen? Supposed to happen last month, I believe, as well. But didn't happen because, unfortunately, Rose Namajunas had 2 deaths in her family, both related to COVID-19, if I'm not mistaken. So she had to pull out literally last second. I think she weighed in, and then it was no, we're not going to do this. We can't do this, or something before the weigh-ins. It was very, very last second. But I'm glad this fight is happening now. This is a rematch. Now, she guys give you a little bit of background. Jessica Andrade has fought the best of the best. I think it's strawweight. I think is where this fight's going to be. She's fought and beaten people like Tisha Torres. Tisha Torres is a very common opponent. She's also beat Rose Namajunas in the last fight, which we'll talk about here in a second. I think Beck Rollins. What's her name? The girl, Jessica. I can't remember what names. I'm all out of it. But anyway, she beat the best of the best in this division. Now, her last fight. Now, let's before getting into the last fight, she fought Rose Namajunas. I want to say August or May of last year. I think May of last year. And which was Rose's last fight. Jessica Andrade was losing that fight. Rose Namajunas was fighting very, very well. Was fighting very, very well, picking her spots, doing what she wanted at will. If I remember, I think this fight ended in the second round by almost a Hail Mary dump. A Hail Mary pick up and slam that I thought Rose Namajunas broke her neck. I mean, just spiked her on the head, knocked her out completely, and she lost the fight that way. And Jessica Andrade won the fight that way, won the championship that way. So beat Rose Namajunas for the belt. It was unbelievable. What a top knockout. I don't think anyone talks about it really. It was almost as on the lines as of a Kevin Randleman, Rampage Jackson type of slam. Just on the neck, knocked her out, got the dub, got the belt. Now, Jessica Andrade recently just lost the fight to Weili Zhang. Weili Zhang, one of the top women fighters right now in the world right now, just beat Joanna Champion, who Rose Namajunas beat twice for the championship. So this is all these girls have kind of had like this 6 degree of, I don't know, separation. Almost have all fought each other, all kind of, a bunch of different times they fought each other. Just it's just a rotating death matches between all these ladies. And I see this one, given that Rose Namajunas' head is into it, because I think that's always been an issue with her. I don't think it's always been an issue with her in the fact that she gets in her own head before the fight happens. But when she's in the fight, man, for the most part, she's almost the best fighter. Anytime she's in there with somebody, she's always the cleaner of the fighters. She always has a crisp stand-up, the better grappling sometimes, because she does have that, and she owes a lot to Trevor Whitman. Trevor Whitman from Colorado. Trains out of Colorado. Rose trains out of Colorado with her husband, Pat Barry, who's also been doing a lot of the coaching as well. For those of you who don't know, Trevor Whitman also coaches the interim lightweight champion, Justin Gaethje, who also, which we'll mention later, trained Kamaru Usman for his fight, which we'll talk about here soon. So there's a lot of Colorado ties. You know me. I'm from Colorado. I love the state. Definitely want to shout it out whenever it happens. Rose Namajunas, I think might get this dub. I think this fight will go her way. I think that her stand-up will prove the difference again. And like I said, one thing I like to say, I don't know, Papi, throw my hands up in there. I don't know, Papi, only time will tell. So I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited for Rose's return. I'm excited to see this fight again. I think I think the last one could have been a war. But Jessica Andrade just threw I don't know, just scooped and slammed, just like, and like I think she was like, how you take those things with the handles like this, and you slam a steak down. That's what it was. It's just bam, and the neck broke in, and then C4, C9 or whatever. So yeah, Jessica Andrade, Rose Namajunas. Like I said, sometimes the ladies just do it better, and that's one you got to look out for. Now, the next fight is probably I think the one that I'm looking forward to the most. Reason being is it'll be Petr Yan versus Jose Aldo. Now, Petr Yan, last fought, beat Uriah Faber. He has beaten John Dodson, and then Jimmy Rivera. I think those are his last 3 wins. What? I'm trying to think here. What was I trying to say here? Petr Yan went 3-5. I got distracted. Something happened. I heard something. I was like, what the hell was that? Anyways, the Jose Aldo versus Petr Yan fight. Petr Yan got distracted. I apologize. I'm here. I'm back. It's not that I was just. I'm like I thought I heard a ghost cough. Petr Yan, yeah, those are probably his 3 top fights, the 3 top wins. Now Jose Aldo has beaten people like Chad Mendes, beating people Frankie Edgar, knocked TKO Jeremy Stevenson. Has fought Max Holloway twice, lost twice to Max Holloway, won on short notice. I want to throw that out there. Probably one of the best featherweights out there. Jose Aldo is known as one of the best featherweights out there. I believe Jose Aldo's last fight against Marlon Moraes was a win for Jose Aldo. Don't know what the referees were watching. Don't know what the judges were watching. That's why he was entitled to a championship right now. I think they were going to make before Henry Cejudo retired. That's the fight they were going to make. Henry Cejudo beat Dominic Cruz, and they decided, well, we're going to make this fight instead because Henry Cejudo retired. So Petr Yan versus Jose Aldo is going to answer a lot of questions. One, is Jose Aldo going to make weight? He has made weight before. He made weight against Marlon Moraes, no problem. Now, this has to be 135 pounds on the dot in order to make weight. You can't be an ounce over or anything. That you have to be 135 pounds. Petr Yan definitely won't have a problem doing that. He's done it before. I think experience is going to be the other question. How will Petr Yan handle someone like Jose Aldo? Jose Aldo can chop you down. Now, Porter Young is knocked out an aging Uriah Faber. They call him the California Kid. He's no kid. He's like in his 40s. So there's like just it just you gotta think they take that in consideration. Uriah Faber has been in wars. But fought a lot of tough dudes. Dominic Cruz, Mike Brown. Has fought a lot of tough dudes. But he is getting older. Age is catching up to him. So that is what it is. Porter Young did finish him, handled him very, very well. I think he was just a name on his record, but Jose Aldo has had the more championship experience. Has had the tougher fighters. Has fought, got knocked out by that whole getting knocked out by Conor McGregor is just something that just spiraled. Like just something crazy happened there. He's lost a couple fights since then. But he's also beat some tough guys too in that process. Frankie Edgar, Jeremy Stevens. At 145 pounds, people can definitely knock your block off. So if I'm going to pick someone here, given the weight is made, I'm going with Jose Aldo. I'm going with experience here. I'm going with the harder hitter. Because coming in 135 pounds, I think Jose Aldo is going to be hit harder. He's going to hit. He's going to throw, as some of my friends would say, fucking darts. I think those leg kicks are going to be a big problem for Porter Young. I don't think Porter Young wants to get into a standing battle with Jose Aldo. So we'll see what happens. Jose Aldo, I think, has been working with. What has he been working with? Padillo? I don't remember who he's working with. I know he's been working. He made the weight last time, so that's going to be the big question right there. Will he make the weight? That's the only thing I'm waiting for. So hopefully he makes the weight. See what happens. Go from there. Porter Young versus Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo taking the dub. How? I don't know. I want to say TKO. TKO probably second round. That's just me. It takes him a little bit to warm up in that first round. Now the co-main event, which will be Max Holloway versus Alex Volkanovski. A rematch. They fought last. They fought each other last. Some people are saying Max Holloway is probably the best featherweight ever. Right there with Jose Aldo, because I think he fought. So I think his last loss was Dustin Poirier. And then before that, it was Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor, that was like 2013, maybe 12. 2012, 2013. So from after that, he's beat Lamas. He's beat Jose Aldo twice. He's beat my boy Brian Ortega, pretty boy Brian Ortega. His last loss was to Dustin Poirier, but this was going to be for the lightweight championship. And if you guys just saw what Dustin Poirier does to people his weight, I mean, is what it is. You saw why Dustin Poirier won that fight. Tough fight. Dustin Poirier is a different type of toughness. But so is Max Holloway, man. Max Holloway's game. He's always game. Happy Hawaiian. I don't want to call him the Happy Hawaiian. He's a good dude, good attitude. Volkanovski's here. He's beating Chad Mendes. Trying to think off the top of my head who else he's beat at 145 pounds. He beat some tough dudes. And he fought very, very well against Max Holloway. Max Holloway, I don't know what it was in that fight. I don't know if it was a weight cut. It just didn't look like himself. Either Volkanovski and his team had the game plan just down pat, or Max Holloway was off. We're going to find out in this rematch. Volkanovski did a great job of using his leg kicks, using his strength, his lower body. Does come in as a shorter fighter by a mile. Tough dude. Tough. Just built like a I don't know, built like a brick, man. He's just stocky. Has muscles. Australian. So he's probably boxed a couple kangaroos. I don't fucking know. He's probably beat up a couple of tarantulas. Grilled a couple of snakes. He's a tough dude. You don't know what. Those guys are capable over there. So is he Australian or New Zealand? I don't remember. I got to get my shit straight. But he's one of those. He's in that same area. But yeah, I mean, they're built different out there. You saw Dan Hooker. I don't know how he withstood that fight with Dan Poirier. You also see style bender. Israel Adesanya, the middleweight champion. So they all train out of the same gym. So they're all just, these guys are just bred different, tough dudes. So if you know anything about those guys in that region, Oceanic region, I don't know what it's called. People like Mark Hunt. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of Islanders. So the Islander dudes, just tough dudes. Those guys over there in the Gold Coast, I think is what it's called. This is tough to say. All these fights are tough to pick because who knows the type of training they've done. Max Holloway has gone on record and saying they've done Zoom training. Hasn't done a whole lot of sparring. Volkanovski, probably has done a little bit of sparring, has done a little bit of training, probably different training. So there's a lot of questions here. If I have to go with somebody, this is a hard one for me to pick. I'm going to have to go all Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski would take it again, take the rematch, another decision. I think they implement the same game plan. He's not going to play long. He's going to play short, get inside, do his bang, 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 ding, dang, and dip out. Bang, 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 ding, dang, dip out. That's what he did last fight. Didn't take a whole lot of chances. Was in there trying to throw bombs. A la Dan Henderson. Throwing the leg kicks, probably throwing the right hand over the top, try to get a knockout. I think Volkanovski takes this again. That's just me. I don't know the odds here. I want to say Max Holloway's coming in as the underdog again. So, Volkanovski decision over Max Holloway. Now on to the main event. Now this is the main event that I think everybody was thinking they're going to have in the first place. And it wasn't going to happen. I don't think Dana White and UFC wanted to negotiate with Jorge Masvidal. So Jorge Masvidal versus Kamaru Usman for the welterweight championship. Jorge Masvidal wants to get paid. I think every fighter wants to get paid. I think they would need to bump an increase in pay. Yeah, right now there's a pandemic, so there's not a whole. You got to think of these businesses. BMI, I think, is a business or the company that owns the UFC right now. It's not UFC. It's not Dana White. Dana White got his care, got a $400 million out of his little deal. He's still getting paid too. So, I think what BMI, they do a lot of actors. I think they're like an actor, a talent agency. So not a whole lot of work going on. Not a whole lot of money be thrown around either. Now, if, let's say Gilbert Burns does not get COVID-19, doesn't test positive, would this be the main event still? I think it still would have been, obviously, because that's the way they promoted it. But would this have been a main event that people would have watched? I didn't see any buzz before this where people were like, oh, I'm talking about common fans. Within the MMA community, this could have been a very excited fight between Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman, both teammates. Kamaru Usman, like I mentioned, took his training camp over to Denver with Trevor Whitman, training with the champ Justin Gaethje, interim champ Justin Gaethje. I think the COVID-19 diagnosis for Gilbert Burns was a blessing in disguise for Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal, this is the way I heard it. And I can't remember who said this, but at one point they were negotiating, like last week sometime, and they see Jorge Masvidal grabbed the phone from his agent, whoever's doing the negotiating, saying, "Listen, you want to make this fight? You have to make this fight. I want to get this fight done. Let's get the money right. Let's get it popping." Obviously, 6 days out from the fight happens. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. A blessing in disguise. Jorge Masvidal wants a little bit of money, gets a little bit of money. Jorge Masvidal wants a title, gets a title. On top of that, gets Kamaru Usman. It's a win-win-win for Jorge Masvidal, a win-win-win for the fans too, because this is originally what everybody wanted. Kamaru Usman gets a chance to put his hands on Jorge Masvidal to shut him up. And it's good hype, There wasn't hype around it before. Gilbert Burns, people are like, who is this guy? He literally just fought 2 weeks ago. So it's probably a good thing for Gilbert Burns because now he has to rest up. He's able to get a little bit more eyes on Jorge Masvidal or whoever the champion will be at this time, and get his bearings. Maybe a quick turnaround would have been the best, but because he just fought last month, fought a tough fight against Tyron Woodley. Actually, I don't even think it was that tough for him. Gilbert Burns looked very comfortable. But now we have to look forward to Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal, He said it himself. Has been in the fight game for 16 years. He thinks he's deserving. If you look at his last 3 fights, he beat Jorge Masvidal, knocked out Darren Till, 5-second record knockout of Ben Askren, then stops or doctor stoppage of Nate Diaz for the BMF title. Bad motherfucker. Shut your mouth title. And I touch my glasses a lot, but whatever. Kamaru Usman, no slouch himself, but hasn't been the most exciting fighting. And I think that's why you need someone like Jorge Masvidal in this fight, because as I said, Kamaru Usman has one great fight on his card, and that's the one against Covington. Other than that, he did get a knockout against, I want to say, Warley Alves. I can't remember who it was. We did get one knockout that I can remember off the top of my head. But he's riding a 15-fight winning streak since his last loss. 11 straight in the UFC, which I think ties him for 3rd. And I think you're getting people in there like, you're getting the John Jones category. Demetrius Johnson. So those type of fighters right there. So a lot of great fighters. But he's only just won the championship. Dominated Tyron Woodley. Beat Colby Covington, knocked him out. So these Nigerians, man, you don't mess with them. I mean, I saw a picture of like him, Francis Ngannou, another couple Nigerian fighters. And I'm like, yeah, I do not want to run into that black wall, because that means death. They will kill you. Tough. There's gonna be a tough fight. I think for everybody involved, because I think Kamaru Usman changed his camp. Mind you, a short camp to Denver to train for Gilbert Burns. Now, quick turnaround. You're in the air. You're in Abu Dhabi. Now you have to fight. You're already in Abu Dhabi. Now you get a change in opponent. You get Jorge Masvidal. Who would be the tougher out of the two, Jorge Masvidal or Gilbert Burns? That's tough to say. Because they're both fighting very well welterweight. But the more exciting, the more hyped up fight would be, obviously, it's Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal has the tools to be the champion. Now, Kamaru Usman has proved that he is a champion. He can defend the championship and do it in dominant fashion. So, a lot of hype surrounding the fight. The fight that everybody wanted to see. I'm excited to see that. I'm picking the winner. I'm going Kamaru Usman by decision. Kamaru Usman is not going to let this slip. I don't think he's going to let this go to stand-up fight where Jorge Masvidal might have the edge. I think it's going to take it to the ground and pound. That's how you see it. Not going to be exciting as you think it's going to be. That's just me. I've seen this before. I've seen this plenty of times. Hype of a fight like that doesn't happen how you want it to be, because the champion's just not going to let it. Just like Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's not going to let you see the stand-up fight. Just like... God, who else? I mean, someone like, God, I don't know. There's so many. Damian Maia wouldn't let you see. Damian Maia has made boring fights before. Anderson Silva comes to mind. UFC 112. Abu Dhabi. I think it was Abu Dhabi. Yes. Same thing. So, Fight Island is real. Fight Island's going to be popping. Now, there's still a lot of questions to be had. Is everyone going to pass their COVID-19 test? As of right now, everyone's passing. I'm talking Jorge Masvidal. Passed all 3 tests, out of quarantine, now to training, now to press, blah, 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 and that. So we'll see what happens. But that's it. Hope you guys tune in. Hopefully this helps you guys, even if you're betting. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit, because I did my homework a tiny bit. But yeah, you take my word for it. I watch fights. I have 9 toes, and I watch a lot of fights. And I know a lot of shit about MMA. So, I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching me in the Sports Plus Life Baby Podcast, episode number 9. And, yeah, we'll see you next week. Sports Plus Life Podcast. We've got a lot to talk about. We can talk about the fights. And I'm sure a bunch of other shit's going to happen. Hopefully hopefully shit doesn't hit the fan from here to like Monday when I start recording. Right now it's Thursday. Who knows, man? Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen when I wake up tomorrow. I don't know if there's going to be a death cloud coming out. I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.